In 1951, something terrifying happened in a quiet town in France. People began seeing monsters. Some believed their bodies were melting. Others jumped out of windows because they thought they could fly. Within days, hundreds of people were hallucinating. 7 people died, and no one knew why. What happened in this town became one of the strangest psychological mysteries ever recorded. The town was called Pont-Saint-Esprit, a small, peaceful village in southern France. At the time, around 4,000 people lived there. Nothing unusual ever happened in Pont-Saint-Esprit. People worked simple jobs. Farmers woke up early. Bakers prepared bread every morning. Children played in the streets. It was the kind of town where everyone knew each other. But on August 16, 1951, something changed. It started with a few people feeling sick. At first, doctors believed it was just food poisoning, headaches, stomach pain, nausea. But within hours, the symptoms became far more disturbing. People began losing their grip on reality. One man ran through the streets screaming that wild animals were chasing him. Another insisted that snakes were crawling inside his stomach. A woman shouted that the sky was on fire. Children began crying uncontrollably. Some residents saw terrifying creatures that no one else could see. Others believed their bodies were shrinking or stretching. The local hospital filled quickly. Doctors struggled to understand what was happening, but the situation kept getting worse. One man tried to strangle his own mother because he believed she had turned into a monster. Another attempted to jump out of a window. He truly believed he could fly. Within days, the entire town seemed to be losing its mind. The hospital soon ran out of space. Patients had to be restrained to prevent them from hurting themselves. Some were screaming in terror. Others were completely detached from reality. Doctors described scenes of chaos. People were fighting invisible enemies. Some were laughing hysterically. Others were begging for help. Over 300 people were affected. More than 50 were placed in psychiatric institutions. 7 people died. Authorities feared something terrifying was happening. Was it a disease, a poison, or something else entirely? Investigators began searching for the cause. After questioning the victims, investigators noticed something strange. Nearly everyone who became ill had eaten bread from the same bakery. That discovery changed everything. Scientists began testing the flour used by the baker. And inside the flour, they found something unusual. A fungus known as ergot. Ergot grows on rye grain, and it contains chemicals that can cause powerful hallucinations. In fact, the compounds inside ergot are chemically similar to LSD. If people consumed enough of it, it could completely distort their perception of reality. This condition even has a name: ergot poisoning, also known historically as St. Anthony's fire. For years, scientists believed this explained the entire event, but decades later, another theory began to appear. In 2009, a journalist investigating the case uncovered something disturbing. Documents suggested the incident might not have been accidental. Some researchers believed the town may have been exposed to experimental chemicals. During the early Cold War, intelligence agencies were secretly studying mind-altering substances. Their goal was simple: to understand whether chemicals could control human behavior. Some believed the Pont-Saint-Esprit incident may have been connected to those experiments. If that theory is true, then the town may not have been poisoned by contaminated bread. It may have been used as an unwitting test. What makes this story so unsettling is what it reveals about the human mind. Our brains create our perception of reality. Every sight, every sound, every sensation. It all exists inside the mind. When the brain's chemistry changes, reality itself can change. People can see things that do not exist, feel threats that are not real, and react with genuine fear. The mind is powerful, but it is also fragile. The people of Pont-Saint-Esprit eventually recovered. Life slowly returned to normal, but the mystery still lingers. Was it poisoned bread, or something far more deliberate? One thing is certain. For a few terrifying days in 1951, an entire town lost its grip on reality, and no one truly knows why.
Strange psychology stories every week. Subscribe for the next mystery.